Okay, welcome back to On the Screws Golf. Here we go, Christmas tournament time, and the new course and the new holes. Thank you, Playdemic. Merry Christmas. All right, welcome back. Okay, like we talked about, Christmas tournament, Grunberg Slopes holes, as well as a whole new 9-hole course. So we at On the Screws Golf, right, are looking forward to the Christmas tournament and these new holes. So let's get right into it. And let's close out that, pull up the display capture on hole number 1. And what we're going to do here is we're going to zoom in pretty tight real quick and take a look at a few things moving forward. Okay, what I want to look at is what do the landing zones look like? Okay, flat. All right, that's good. Flat, excellent, and flat. Awesome. So all of our landing zones on hole number 1 look somewhat flat. The only thing is this right here is a little bit of a depression. So if you can land that either short in here or a little bit further, you shouldn't have a problem coming in from the left-hand side. So I just wanted to do that really quickly. Talk about the landing zones. And then what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and take a look at what it is exactly what we may want to approach this hole with. Okay, so for the rookies, in my opinion, I think there's only one way to go. It's left. You hit the ball straight, some topspin, and then stop it before you get in the rough. So my suggestion is out to here, land in here, finish here, second shot into there. Pretty straightforward in my opinion. You also have an option over, obviously, to come curl it into here, bring it out into this zone here. Okay. The rationale, the reason why I say a little bit dangerous, you have to curl it away from here, you have to curl it away from here, and you have to worry about that zone there. Okay. If you go to the left, you're only worrying about this zone and pretty much too much topspin over here. So you have to worry about 3 danger zones on the right as compared to 2 danger zones on the left. And then when you take a look at it, your second shot, you have to fly it over a bunker and then put some backspin here. So you have to worry about that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 danger zones, in my opinion, compared to only 2 danger zones for the first tee. When you go from the second tee, again, pretty much the same thing. Going to go out to the left, bounce it over, get it over here. From the second tee to the right, again, danger zone, short bunker, a little bit of that rough patch with snow on it in the middle of on the left, and then whether or not you're going to hit too much power and curl on the right, and then obviously too much power and spin and possibly too much top spin to get you in the bunkers on the left. But in my opinion, what we want to do is take it to the left, at least at first during tomorrow's opening session, right? And give ourselves a chance to work with what we have, which is ease of use, and make sure that we stay out of trouble. All right, that's hole number 1. Let's do hole number 2. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in a little bit and take a look at the topography of the holes, see if there's any issues. All right, so landing zones look like here, possibly here and here. and then possibly here some nodules. This should be a zone here. So pretty straightforward. Again, for hole number 2, shouldn't be any risk for too many severe bounces when we're in our landing zones. So that's good news. Let's get out of here real quick. All right. So see if I can back out just a little bit more. Move it over. Okay. So from, looks like you can come out here, bounce it over, end up in this zone, and then possibly with a big dog, bounce it here in this zone and roll it on. Or you can even just come out here and then try to chip it in from this area, which is probably not what you want to do. You want to try to use the straightest line between any 2 points is a straight line. So my opinion would be maybe possibly come out here, bounce it here, and get it up into this zone. And then if you have a high enough extra mile, you might be able to just fly it right into here and then get it out even further here for what would then be a pretty straightforward wood club right into the green. All right, so my opinion, it looks as if heading to the left-hand side with a bounce shot or an overpowered power 4 ball to that second fairway and rolling it out into that generous fairway up on the left-hand side would be our best bet for rookie. For pro, again, this might be, you know, a bounce shot into this zone out to here, and then an overpowered power 4, power 5 ball into this zone and all the way up to there. All right. Again, first looks, when you're talking about a danger zone, again, bunker here, rough here, and then you're in pretty good shape. Over here, again, on the right-hand side, having to curl it in and bounce it over, you have a danger zone on the right there. Over here, hitting it straight on the left-hand side, I don't think that's too much of an issue for anybody, depending on the ball you're using and the level of club you're using. If you're using a low ball, you're going to have to overpower it, obviously. That could spend cause a little bit of a disaster for you because you're expending that extra energy, that extra overpower. The power circle, the power needle is going to be going much faster and less likely hit a consistent perfect ball when you're doing overpower. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, let's do hole 3 here. And let us zoom in. Take a look at what we have here. And what I want to do is zoom in some more because I believe that this is an area of concern. Okay, let's take a look at the ridge that runs right into here. Okay, and that ridge means everything's going to go that way. So if you fly the ball into here and hit that ridge, it's going to shoot out to that way. It's supposed to be an arrow. So you got to be careful about that. So let's take a look at some of the options that we're going to have now that we see that there's a ridge there that could potentially cause our balls as we hit the tee shot to bounce to the right. Okay, so what we may want to do is land in this zone or try to keep it right to the left of this ridge, so landing in this zone with backspin and right curl. So fly it in here and try to zip it in that way. Here we're just going to bounce it straight, try to bounce it right to the green with either a little bit of topspin so it rolls out into the green that way. Okay, the line here is a little bit thick. I apologize for that, but that's what we're working with right now. All right. Get rid of all of these options here. All right, so Let's zoom back out now, if we can, and take a look at the hole from a distance, and then look at the distance between hole 1 and T1 and T2, rookie and pro, right? Pro, rookie, significant difference. So this is going to be a maybe a possible guardian out to here with some backspin and some side spin into there, or it's going to be a guardian straight in here with backspin to get it close, or a sniper fairway bump shot right in that way. Okay, and then again from the up front tees, same exact thing. Bounce short here with a Saturn and or a Goliath or a backbone, and then over here with a Saturn, bounce it out into this zone with a lot of backspin and side spin, try to get it in that way as well. So I think those are what I'm going to be looking at moving forward as we start practicing tomorrow, towards 4, towards 8, towards 11. Just getting rid of everything. All right, that's hole number 3. So let's move on to hole number 4. Again, this right here seems relatively flat. The only thing I see that might be a concern is those nodules in the fairway there when you're landing in for to come in for your second shot. Okay, so let's just keep an eye on that. All right, so let's zoom back out a little bit and position the hole. All right, from the front tee, we can come over here and land here, and then try to bend it in here and then get to the hole. But that's a lot of work, right? A lot of danger in this rough here. Out here, if you don't curve it right, and you might not even make the green, you'll be chipping for a birdie. Okay, so what we want to do is come straight out into here, bounce here, roll out into this zone, and then obviously, remember we talked about this, we want to stay in this zone over here, bring it out here so you're not hitting this undulating area, and roll it in. Get it closed for an eagle and possibly a very simple birdie. Okay, so that's hole number 4 in my opinion. Pretty straightforward. If you're looking at the pro tees, I think you're going to do the exact same thing. Keep it out on the right, bring it all the way out into this zone, and then curve it in. Try to get an eagle and a birdie. I think this is a no-go zone here. I just don't see any possibility to get it over unless you have a 10-mile-an-hour wind right behind you and you can use a snow globe or a ghost ball or something like that, which gives you a lot of power and very little wind resistance. All right, first glance, that's what we have for hole number 4. Let's get rid of these quickly so they're not still stuck on the board when we come to our next hole. Okay, hole 5. Let's zoom in again and see if we have any issues with our landing zones. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at that nodule. So right here is the high point. These right here are the low points. All right, so let's get out of there so you can see it again. And then look at this right here. If you land right here, it's going to shoot you that way. Okay, so let's get out of there so you can see it. So a lot of undulations on the right hand side here, and then this area here, a lot of undulations. So my suggestion, we have some rough right here, and then we have this really generous portion of rough right there. Okay, so it looks as if we back out of here a little bit, we may be able to, from the front tee, take a rough bump area right here and try to get in there, okay? So that we avoid any of this or any of that, okay? And then from the front tee, we can also bring it out and try this little baby rough bump straight in. But again, depending on the wind, depending on the ability of your club and its accuracy, that may be a very, very risky shot and may be very difficult to pull off with that very what looks like non-generous rough bump area. It's going to be very tight as compared to over here. We have a lot of room. You might be able to get it in there and have the variance that you need if you hit a great ball left or right, and you're still on the green, pretty close for an easy birdie until you get that really honed in, or you watch other streamers that put out content and you can say, oh, I now know the spin, I know the backspin, I know what club to use, what level, etc. All right. I think we're going to do from the pro side, pretty straightforward, rough bump all day long, right into the green. Okay, I think that is your only play on this to get it close for a hole-in-one. Too much undulation here, too much undulation to bouncing it to the left here. You'll see all kinds of shots though, but preliminarily going into tomorrow's practice rounds, rough bump should probably be the way to go. Okay, hole number 6. All right, let's take a look at, this is already zoomed in for us. All right, tee shot, everything looks really safe when it comes to landing zones. So it doesn't look like there's anything that's going to topographically hurt us and make us bounce to the left or to the right off of our landing zones. So from the front tee, what do we have looking right away? We have a problem here. We have a lot of problems coming along this rough here. We have the rough between the two fairways is a problem. And then, of course, if we go for too aggressive, we have problems there. Okay, so those are the 4 problem areas on the tee shot. If you're looking at a second shot from this left side, problem area there, problem there. From the right side, this narrow neck of the woods here or the fairway where you might be bouncing it and rolling it up. If you're going to get it up into this zone, you have this area you have to worry about on the right, and then if you're spinning it, you have to worry about this bunker, and then of course not enough spin, you have that rough area over there. So a lot of concerns, a lot of areas of hazards right out of the gate as we look just from the schematic view. Okay, but it looks like the fairway's pretty generous and pretty safe, and there's not going to be any undulations near the landing zone up there. So 2 options in my opinion. Obviously the safe option, neither of them are safe, but what may happen here is rookies can hit here, land here, and roll up into this zone, and then you're going to have a big dog second shot up into this zone, and then roll it up, and then a chip shot in. So it looks like a 3-shotter for rookies, okay? Or what we can do is go to left side and either use a shot here, big topper it all the way up into this zone, or if you have a big enough extra mile, put a power 4 ball on, land in this zone, and roll it up to here. And then from either of these zones, shoot it out up into here with a bunch of topspin, and then obviously land in this zone, and then an easy eagle putt, or possibly bounce over all of this, get on, and even make the green, and give yourself a chance at an eagle putt. Again, all conjecture now. When you can see this will depends on the flyover when we see it, and depends on how far the actual distance of the hole is that Playdemic has produced, to see how far our clubs are going to be able to master the distance of these different holes. Okay, this one looks pretty deep, and it's going to be a difficult hole, but that's why we play the game, right? Because we don't want it to be easy. All right, this one's pretty straightforward. No issues whatsoever, in my opinion, but I do want to give you an option that I think that you want to consider. Zoom way in here. All right. That snow, in my opinion, is going to eat up a rough bump, okay? But you still have, in my opinion, enough rough past the snow to get a rough bump on the green. Now, the real question is this rough bump, when you land here, look at the distance between the rough bump and the pin. Is there enough topspin with a Goliath 5 or a ball guide with a Goliath 5 or a Goliath 4 or something like that for you to be able to really hone in and get the rough bump into the hole? Probably not. So you're going to have probably have a 6, a 7, an 8, a mature rough iron to get there. Or what you may be able to do is just bounce it back in here, roll it on, and give yourself a chance based on the ball guide and the slope of the green, etc. So you have really two options here: a bounce shot with a long iron and or a rough bump with a long iron. I don't think this is long enough to be in a wood range like a Viper or a Sniper or something like that. I could be totally wrong. And if you do have the opportunity for a wood iron into the green, you may want to use the Guardian with its backspin and see if you can't hone that shot in for a hole-in-one or a rough bump with a Sniper off the rough. Okay. Same thing goes with the tee number 2, which is the pro tee, expert tee. Looks like rough bump all day long, and then maybe a bump shot off that first fairway and try to roll it in there with a really nice ball guide with a Sniper. So pretty straightforward stuff on that par 3. Depending on the wind, obviously, and the angle, that rough bump may be a little bit more hazardous with the expert and the pro divisions because it's kind of small, but that's always the case. And we have a lot of great players out there that manage all these rough bumps on a regular basis, so it shouldn't be a problem for them. But if you're competing in your first pro or expert with some lower clubs, might be a little bit of a challenge. So you might want to go the conservative bounce over from that first or that second pad fairway onto the green, get your hole-in-one or your eagle, and then move on. Okay, hole number 8. Here we are. This one, the fairway is pretty straightforward. So we're going to zoom out, give you the full look. I don't think there's any issues whatsoever with the landing zones. So in my opinion, from the rookie, no brainer. You're going to come out here, land here, and roll into this zone. Second shot, bounce shot here over the railroad tracks into the green for a birdie. Pretty straightforward. I think this is a no-go with the curl and all of that. You may not even have enough. You may have enough to get over that, but then you have all of this to contend with, and then this entire rough line to be concerned about if you hit it too far, if you hit a great right, if you don't have enough spin right. So I think you need to really be concerned with going to the right side in rookie. Just take the straight kind of like to the left area and give yourself a really good opportunity at a simple, straightforward birdie. All right. That's my opinion on rookie going to the left on this hole. If you're in the pro, obviously you're going to have significantly higher clubs. I think, again, you're going to be able to get into this zone. Some individuals with some really great clubs are going to be able to pull it in with a curl shot and bring it right up into this zone, and then possibly with a guardian shot, rock it right straight to the hole and try to get it in the hole with a backspin or something like that. Okay. If not, they get it here. They may be able to just bounce it right here, just like the rookies, in there for an easy birdie. A very difficult eagle, though. Probably impossible. I say that now, and this will be like plays the easiest hole on the course for whatever reason. Because it looks difficult, it'll probably play the easiest. You look at some of the other holes which look difficult, might play easy. So we'll see what happens. Whoa, what do we got here? This was my previous video. Okay, so we'll just leave it out here since it's already saved. Let's go ahead and zoom out then, if we have it like this, and we'll try to talk through it. All right, hole number 9. I think we have some areas of concern. And going to the right, you can see that you have this bunker over here on the right. That's an area of concern. Looks like the landing zone will be in this area with a curl ball out to here. And again, over here is a danger zone. If you're coming this side, you have to land it in between these two fairways, two bunkers. So again, all of this is a danger zone as well as the right danger zone, and then you have to curl it in there. So you have 2 curl shots, curl from left to right, and then a curl shot from right to left on this par 5. So, and you're going to have to use significantly higher clubs or a power 4 ball or at least a power 3 ball. So keep that into consideration. If you're going to move to the left, this may be a zone that's going to cause you to be concerned. So you have to hit it straight and you have to hit it perfect. So you'll land in this zone, roll it out to this zone. If you have too much topspin, obviously that could be a concern as well. But from over here, it looks like the only concern would be this rough here. Land it over the rough and get the proper spin adjustments for rookie and get it on the green in 2. Give yourself an opportunity at eagle. If you look at the pros, again, same options, just different clubs, higher clubs, different balls depending on the distances, etc. Looks like you're going to use a lot of topspin on your tee shots with a spin, side spin, to get you in the prime position to give you an angle at this second shot for either the curl shot from the left to the right, and then from the right curling it to the left. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That is the overview that I wanted to share with all of you. Again, Christmas tournament starts on Monday, December 23rd through the 29th. I wish you all the best of lucks on the Grunberg Slopes tournament. A nice Christmas gift, an early gift from Playdemic to all of us. So we'll see you on the course. Wish you the very best. Today, 3 p.m., Tommy Meets. I will be his guest, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to that opportunity, and good luck in the upcoming tournament. All right, see ya.